What is a FAFSA? A FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It assists financial aid offices with determining a student's eligibility based on their income and other information that is on the FAFSA. It allows students to qualify for student loans, various grants, state aid such as Cal Grants, and institutional aid such as the State University Grant offered at CSUs including Cal State San Bernardino. The application opens up every January 1st, and each state has their own priority filing deadline. California's priority filing deadline is March 2nd. Who benefits from the financial aid process? The FAFSA is used to award students with financial aid funding to help pay for tuition and other educational needs. This includes tuition charges and other miscellaneous fees, transportation, room and board, and also miscellaneous expenses that the student may incur while attending school. Parents and independent students benefit from financial aid because it can possibly reduce the amount of immediate out-of-pocket expenses that the student or parent may have to come up with. Although they may borrow student loans, those loans don't become due for repayment until 6 months after their last date of attendance, which allows them to postpone any out-of-pocket expenses. Colleges and universities benefit from the revenue generated by these incoming funds. They help to pay for resources and services used by students, faculty, and staff. Over the years, the FAFSA application process has been revamped several times to become more user-friendly and less time-consuming to complete. When you're ready to complete the FAFSA application, here is what you will need. You will need demographic information for you, your spouse, and or your parents. Depending on your age, your marital status, whether you have children, determines whether you will only need your information or your parents' information. You will also need income information for you and or your parents. The FAFSA has been recently revamped in the last 2 or 3 years to allow students to import their information within the online application from the Internal Revenue or IRS. It allows students to not have to hassle with determining which information on their 1040s or 1040As that is needed to complete the FAFSA application. You also need a list of schools that you will like your FAFSA information to be transmitted to, and you're allowed to put up to 10 schools on your FAFSA at a time. These 10 schools can be changed at any time by logging into your FAFSA and making an update. Also, and lastly, you will need your Federal Student Aid Identification Number, better known as FSA ID. This ID is something that was created to protect your private information that is put on your FAFSA. It is a username and a password that you select and can be used to log into your FAFSA at any time. Parents, too, will need to have an FSA ID. What's next? Once you've gathered the information and submitted your FAFSA, the process begins. Improvements such as the ability to import tax information via the IRS website have made submitting the FAFSA less daunting for students. Here's a chart that demonstrates how the FAFSA is processed. Once the student submits their application online, CPS, which is a department within the U.S. Department of Education, processes the FAFSA and calculates an EFC or expected family contribution. That helps the financial aid office determine what type of money and the amounts of money that the student is eligible for. CPS then transmits that information to the school so that the school can award the student, and CPS also transmits the information to the students so that they can have record of their own information. Once the school receives the FAFSA, they award the student and either email or use a school system to notify the student of their award. Information technology and the FAFSA. Approximately 99% of the FAFSA applications that are received are submitted online. The FAFSA is also able to be done by paper and mailing it in, or by calling and completing your FAFSA over the phone. The second bullet shows the FAFSA website where students can begin and complete their FAFSA. Information technology is used by the student to transmit their data to the U.S. Department of Education. Information technology is used by the U.S. Department of Education to receive the student's information and transmit information out to both the school and the student. Schools use information technology to import the student's information via the U.S. Department of Education software and determine a student's financial aid eligibility. A school then awards the student and/or requests additional documentation via email and/or the school system, such as Cal State San Bernardino's My Coyote.